Well, I thought I was scheduling it for later. I guess not. I was going to start in 5 minutes anyway, so whatever. This will work. I don't even have the gimbal connected. That's okay. We'll get that done. Do that. And I think I am live. And I see chat. Here we go. Let's do this. Need my keys. Where's my keys? Can't go anywhere till I find my keys. Found my keys in my pocket. Wallet, got my keys. Hi JH, welcome. How are you? Happy Martin Luther King Day. I'm at Fireman's Park in Brenham, Texas. I went on a walked about 3/4 of a mile and saw interesting things, and I thought, man, I should have just done a live stream and share this very beautiful day. That nice, bright, sunshiny day. Martin Luther King Day, but some people are not off. Having some stomach issues, but besides that, doing pretty good. One more day off from school. Well, yep. I don't know if you're a student or a teacher, but any extra day off is great. Hi, Joanne Sanchez, welcome. These guys are having to work on Martin Luther King Day. Trimming bushes. That's the Brenham Public Library right there. It's inside Fireman's Park, and I walk here fairly often. It's in my rotation of places to walk. So, JH, I remember when I was a student, any extra day off was cool. Hi, Juanita, welcome. And I'm just going to start here. This is a really pretty area. This was only put in, it's been a few years now, maybe even like 10 years. There's normally water running through here, circulating, like a babbling brook right there. And I bet they shut it off and insulated it, because we've had a couple of nights the last couple of nights, it's gotten down below freezing. They probably don't want it to freeze up, or to protect the piping or something. No babbling brook today. I bring our dogs, Indy and Bella, here to walk sometime, and we finish up our walk here, and they love getting in there because the water's only a few inches deep when there's water in there, and they love that. But it's pretty cool. Check out that big old thing, that metal planter. I just wonder what that was in its original life. The profile of my car is Shelby Series 1. Only 249 were ever produced. Oh, any of those Shelbys are just great. I love that. Hi, traveling. So I'm gonna tell you what I'm doing something. Hi, Paula. Nice to see you. And storm coming Friday for 10 inches of snow and a ½ inch of ice. We don't get that here. We do not get that here. The traveling Whitcombs, I met them recently. I've been watching some of their live stream. Last night I was at a traveling Whitcombs live stream for a while. they had tried to build a fire and it didn't work out. But and it got cold and came back inside where the central heat was. So this is my favorite bench. I sit down sometimes and just enjoy this, especially on a beautiful day. It is 66 degrees in Brenham today. Apparently someone needs medical care. We are blessed to have beautiful parks here in Brenham, and we're an overabundance of them, it seems. I think we have like, for every 500 people in Brenham, we have a park. It's not that bad. They spend a lot of money on parks, and we have very high taxes. So sometimes it's frustrating to me. I'll show you a couple of examples of that. But when I was a kid, we didn't have canvas tarps covering the playground. Sometimes it was so hot you couldn't go down the slide, or it would blister your butt. It was so hot. And I don't know, a shaded play set would have never even been something I could have imagined. And for sure my parents and grandparents would never have imagined that. So let's go look around. There's the library. Pretty new library. Oh, right up there on top of the hill, that's where oh, that's the medical clinic. They just brought somebody in. Train. We weren't train watching, but there you go. Right across the street is the grocery store, Brookshire Brothers, and there's an overpass over Martin Luther King Boulevard, actually right there. Coincidentally, this being Martin Luther King Day. And a few years ago, the train derailed right there. And if that Shipley's Donuts had been there when the train derailed, it might have gotten taken out, because it's pretty steep and pretty high up there. And the train came tumbling down a bunch of the cars. It was quite a wreck. It was a train wreck. See, I'm going to get back, check the chat. There's a lot of folks out here at the park today, which I like to see. A lot of kids playing in the playground and having fun, and that's cool. There's a nice swing set and people using it. It's a holiday, so there's more activity than there normally would be, especially on a Monday. But we have in this park, you have these story walks. They're for kids. They're very simple, but they try to teach kids lessons and things like that. We'll check out a couple of them. Begin your story walk here. Follow the numbers 1 through 23 along the trail. And then there's a second one that picks up at 24. This is new. There was a whole different story on those before. They've changed out the story, it looks like. This used to not be here. This section of Fireman's Park did not exist. It was just like bare land. And some years ago, I'm going to show you here, this is called Michael's Playground. And I thought when the first time I read this that it must have been a child that died and his family had this built as a memoriam to him. But I went and looked it up. Michael Mansfield Owsley was in his 60s and died very unexpectedly. And his widow is the one that donated the money for all this. I think it was about $750,000 for this addition to the park that she had put in honor of her husband, Michael, which is pretty cool. And this one doesn't start the story yet. It's the same thing that was on the other one. So we'll keep going here. Oh look, beach volleyball. I wonder if that would help Aries World out. Are you less likely to break your ankle playing beach volleyball than regular volleyball? I don't know. It seems in some ways it might be harder or more risky. Sand, moving around the sand. So I have not done this before, and that is to live stream vertically. And I was told that that's when more people come in because it gets picked up in the shorts feed. Did any of you see this in the shorts feed, and that's when you came in? So see this lion, and it's the height for kids, which an adult can lean over and do it, and that's fine. Here's what I find interesting. So you have to put your head down in the lion's mouth, right, to get a drink of water, and this doesn't work. Well, over at Jackson Street Park, where they just did a whole bunch of upgrades and spent a whole lot of money putting in pickleball courts, even though the other pickleball courts hardly get used, and just all kind of stuff. New lighting on the soccer fields, all new lighting, and I seldom see those soccer fields even used. There's a brand new one of these along the walking trail, and it works. So they don't repair this one, but they put in a new one. And my theory is no money changes hands when you just send a maintenance guy over to repair this one, but a lot of money does change hands when you install a new one, and I'll leave it at that. Okay, if you pass the test, the elf will ask you some nice things, but watch out, elves can be mischievous. Don't get tricked into being naughty, okay? When you're ready to take the test, turn the page. And we still haven't gotten started. Hi, the Axe Anderson. Nice to meet you. Oh, and you picked it up in the short feed. Cool. Well, we're in Brenham, Texas, which is in south central Texas. Think of like about halfway between Austin and Houston, a little closer to Houston. So give you some idea kind of where we're at. Our city has a population of about 20,000 or so. It's the home of Blinn College and the home of Bluebell ice cream. And Bluebell is probably what we're most famous for. Hey Kevin, nice to see you. Thank you for coming in. And I've been thinking about taking up skateboarding. I think I could do some pretty sweet tricks. Yeah. So Chris has one cast on one ankle. I'd probably be like at a body cast on my first day. But see if this dude's got some sweet moves. I'm gonna go tell him. Okay guys, we're live streaming on YouTube. Let's see some sweet moves. Everybody's ready to give scores. All right. Cool, no broken bones. That's a double thumbs up. All right. Cool. Awesome job. Nice. Thank you very much. I got a gimbal in my hand, or I'd give you applause.
I appreciate it.
All right, y'all take care. Have a wonderful time this beautiful day.
Hey, as well.
Here we go. You didn't know you were going to get a skate show. No, I'm not next. Maybe next time. The car says her bad knee would break. Well, I might not have a bad knee now, but if I tried that, I definitely would. Oh, let's test this. Let's see if the regular water fountain works. I like that it has a place to fill up your water bottle if you have a water bottle. I wonder, I'm not gonna, no dings for that, because I think the water may be shut off because of the sub-freezing weather for protection to keep from busting pipes. And I'm guessing that's the case. That's not the case of the lion. I tried that lion back in August. There was no freezing weather. Hi, Oki's here. Oki's eating. Another person that I only recently discovered, and that dude is serious about his farming and growing fresh vegetables, and almost broke my ankle on the sidewalk. Okay, so and I told y'all this is for kids. Here's the first test, and they start them with an easy one, and it's just touch your nose, see if you pass the test. So if you're walking your little grandkids, or even your children, if you have young children, they might find this fun. Learning to read and follow instructions. I think a lot of young kids these days need a lot more of those type simple lessons. This is a drainage ditch. It feeds into a creek, and someone has left their book there. That's unfortunate. This, you may have seen in the news last year, a young girl coming home from school, I guess her and her friend, just upstream of here, probably only about a quarter mile, she fell into the water, or got into the water somehow. I believe they both did, and some adults saw it and got the one girl out, and a guy actually reached the other girl, but he couldn't hang on to her, and she got swept away. And 1.5 miles, so further than this, she would have traveled right through here. They found her body the next day. It was so sad. I think she was maybe 11 years old, something like that. Maybe 8 years, I don't know. She was just a young girl. And when it's raining hard, this thing it looks like that, like where people do the rafting in the rapids in Colorado. I mean, the water is just gushing through here. Not a safe place for a kid to be playing around, and just a sad day. So across the street over there, that is Henderson Park, which was originally called North End Park. And here's some interesting history. I did a YouTube video about that when I first started making YouTube videos. Mr. Henderson donated that land, or used his land, because the parks in Brenham were going back to the time that after slavery had ended, but there was still segregation. And he wanted the black people of Brenham to have a place to go hang out. And he created the North End Park and used his money and his land. He was a farmer. He grew peaches and pecans and something else. When I researched it to do the YouTube video, I was just fascinated by it. And it wound up happening. He developed the park so much, it became very popular. He had boxing matches there, like big time boxing matches, and semi-pro baseball, like AA or AAA baseball, that type of level. And it was the white only high school and the black only high school here. So the black high school, they played their football games there. And I think in the baseball team, he built them a field to play on. All that stuff that man did to help out his people, to have a place for the community to come. And that's a really cool story. So these two parks are right across the street from each other. And I might do a live stream at Henderson Park on a different day. But today is Fireman's Park. And I do walk and e-bike and stuff in Henderson Park pretty often. Look at this building. This is cool. And I think this is the one was at one time called the kitchen. This was built, as many things were, this was the Works Projects Administration built these rock buildings here in Fireman's Park during the Great Depression. And it was a government program just like the CCC to create jobs for people, to try to help get through tough times. And I just love the cool buildings. That one is called the Rock House, I believe, and you can rent that, like for a family get together, your company outing, whatever. And there's restrooms over there. So it's pretty cool. You can rent that. I'm gonna go over to this side. There's something interest here. Going to the other side of this, what I believe was the kitchen. I've already walked this, and while walking it, we're kind of repeating what I did earlier. And after I walked 3/4 of a mile, I said, you know what, I should live stream. This is pretty cool. You know, some people might be interested in that. So here's the other side of the kitchen, I'm going to call it. And you can tell, see, there used to be stairs. This used to have an attachment, some way to get up there. What I find interesting is, look, that was apparently the door to enter the second floor, because it looks like a jail door, right? It's iron. Whereas all the windows, every other opening on the second floor is just a normal opening. And the front door on the ground floor level is a regular door, and not a 1930s door. Obviously, it's been replaced. It is locked. It's empty now. I looked earlier. See if you can see in there. See, it's empty. But cool. I like rock buildings. Another playground, and this one doesn't need a oh my goodness, Paula, thank you so much. You're awesome. I just love you, girl. Akari, thank you. Everybody give Akari a thumbs up or whatever, or tell her what an awesome person she is, because she is the UK savior. I'm in Brenham, Texas. Thank you, Akari. And let's keep going. So big oak trees. It would take like 3 or 4 people to, if you wanted to touch hands and wrap yourself around that tree. Two large men couldn't do it. It would take at least 3, maybe 4. So this playset does not need a tarp canopy like the other one has, because it has a natural canopy. Very cool. And there's just thing after thing over here that's interesting. Don't wait till we get to that next building. It's got very rich history. So there's a nice garden with a bench to sit at and reflect or think or read, whatever you like to do. Very nice pavilion we have here. And you can rent this stuff to have whatever kind of event you want to, and this is huge. And they have a lot of public events here. It's cool. It is the dead of winter, and somehow, and these are not plastic. They're beautiful flowers, still doing fine. We've gotten down to freezing only twice, and those have been very recently, and only like 31 or 32 degrees. It barely got to freezing overnight. Okay, check this out. Inside that building right in front of us is an antique carousel. One of them, I don't remember the exact numbers. It's one of only a few left. And it was restored. First, let's go back. It was found near Clay, Texas, which is just a little community. I don't think you can really see in there very well. And it's only open on Saturdays. But it's beautiful. Carousel with the horses and everything. And let's go over here. Okay, this is just the history of carousels. There's the Philadelphia style, the Coney Island style, and the Country Fair style. These are not about this specific one. Okay. The popularity of the American carousel soared at one time, estimated to be around 4,000, with beautiful carved horses that grace the U.S. Now there's fewer than 150. Brenham's Flying Horses Carousel is only one of 5 surviving classic wood carousels that exist in Texas. According to the National Carousel Association, who knew there was one, Brenham's Flying Horses Carousel is the oldest carousel in Texas. All right. Yep, here we go. Maybe the information about this particular one is on this sign. But anyway, it was discovered, and what they think is a traveling show, like a carnival, that times had gotten hard in the Great Depression, and you know what, I need to I'm trying to figure out how to pin something. Okay, here we go. This one was made, I guess, there began a toy and carriage manufacturing retail business in Brooklyn, New York in 1859. It began building carousels possibly as early as the late 1860s and is credited with establishing the country fair style of carousel. Okay, so now we know who built it and about what era. And in 1930, in the year this carousel was found, the one here in Brenham, Mr. U. Durden in Clay, it was left in a pasture years earlier during the Depression by a carnival that couldn't afford to pay the rent on the land they used for their carnival. Mr. Durden saw potential of the old carousel and told the members of the Washington County Fair Association about how it could serve our community. So there's some other fellows here. They braved swarming hornets to rescue the carousel from the pasture and moved it to Brenham for repair. O.H. Fisher, owner of Brenham Furniture Repair, and Clarence Fisher refurbished the 24 horses to the delight of the community. Mrs. Alvin Suter, Fisher's daughter, said, "I can remember assisting my father in making tails for the horses. We took hemp rope and unbraided it for new tails." In the fall of 1932, the newly repaired carousel made its debut at the Washington County Fair on October 12, 1932. Tickets were 25 cents for 6 rides. In 1935, a 16-sided building by the Works Progress Administration, the WPA, was constructed to house the horses. The rest is history. And it works. I have ridden it. I made one of my first videos was there, and it was horrible. I didn't know what I was doing, but I did a video about this carousel. I had bought these, it's like a headset with a camera on it, and it would be like on the side of your head was where the camera was, and I thought it would be cool, but it did not have a real-time stabilization, and you can see my glasses in the corner of the view of the video I made. It was really bad. It was fun though. I think what I'm going to do is redo that. I'm going to come back one day when they're open and make a better video about the carousel and tell there's more history I found online, and yeah, very cool. So the next time it will be open will be in March on Saturdays and Sundays. Cool. All right, let's get going. Okay. This is cool. I enjoy doing this, and I thank you all for coming in. And the bonus is I get my steps in. I'm messing with the chat, trying to get where okay. Gorgeous weather there. I'll send you some cold weather. No, thank you, Norma. The WPA did a lot with restorations in the San Antonio missions. Yep, great stuff. I've been to a lot of places that the CCC and the WBA did. And okay, so let me show you. There's not a cloud, and well, there's a little bit of wispy clouds, not much. It's almost as clear as it could possibly be. And there's the bright sunshine, and there's the flag waving. It is a beautiful Martin Luther King Day. Happy Martin Luther King Day, everybody. A great man, no doubt about it. That is a maypole, and ropes are tied to the top of that, and they come down, and people go round and around and around. I'm not sure if that's as a game or just as entertainment, like for the dancing or whatever, but that's what that is. That's a giant old antique maypole. There's a lot of stuff here at the Fireman's Park. I hope the video is hanging in there, you know, where there's a terrific celestial. I am in Brenham, Texas, which is south central Texas, about halfway between Houston and Austin, a little closer to Houston. And Brenham is the home of Bluebell Ice Cream and Blinn College. And it's a city of about 20,000. Washington County Veterans of World War II. And I'm not going to read this whole sign. I think it's interesting. You get the idea, though. This memorial here is not just about World War I. Well, that sign, it includes World War I, but I guess it's been expanded beyond that. Blue Star Memorial Byway, a tribute to the Armed Forces of America. That was donated by the Blue Walnut Garden Club. And this is really cool right here. And I did some research and let my buddy, the Sock Monkey, who's a United States Marine, to see, I didn't know, let me explain what I'm talking about here. So see these names on these bricks? Whenever I first saw this, I didn't know, are these people that died in active battle, in combat? Or are these people that served in the military that were from Brenham? And is it limited, like some memorials are, only to those who served during wartime? I just didn't know the criteria. Where I looked into it, any person who served in any of these branches of the U.S. military and has lived in Brenham for any amount of time, they are eligible to have a brick. And the Sock Monkey is going through, I encouraged him and he agreed to do it. He's trying to get, the Sock Monkey, my friend Carrie, is going to get him a brick, which I think is very cool. Everyone who served should get recognition for doing so. So Coast Guard, let's just walk around here. And there's a lot. So try not to go too fast. So here's the Air Force. Not sure what to call that. We'll call it the tower, the Air Force Tower, or stanchion, or yeah. And in the center here, like when they have events, the speakers will be up there. Look, man, the rock, part of that WPA thing. And right quick, I know very well, because I saw one time a kid get chewed on pretty good. No rollerblades, roller skates, skateboards, scooters, or bicycles within the Veterans Memorial Plaza area. That shouldn't even have to be said, but you know. So here we go, back to making the loop. United States Army. By the way, y'all be sure and come to Valerie Reese. It's all about the adventure in her live stream tomorrow night, Tuesday at 7 Eastern, 6 Central, 5 Mountain, 4 Pacific. It's going to be about people that served in the military, and it was my suggestion for a topic about what was happening in their lives that they decided to join the Marine Corps. What was going on, what was their motivation, and then carry it on from there, how that went for them. Duty, honor, country. They answered the call, they volunteered, they grew tired, they persevered. Some traveled far, some stayed near, some saw battle without showing fear. Their sacrifices and challenges grew greater by the day, but these loyal men and women wouldn't have it any other way. We honor and applaud them, accolades they deserve, and we stand here humbly reminded of the freedom they preserved. Cool. This is Washington County there. Show me the manner in which a nation cares for its dead, and I will measure with mathematical exactness the tender mercies of its people, their respect for the laws of the land, and their loyalty to high ideals. Gladstone. All right, let's move along. Here we go. United States Navy. And it tells on every one of these where they serve. So Henry W. Holt was a sergeant in the U.S. Army, 36 MP Company during World War II. There's someone who served in India, in Germany, the Korean War, Vietnam, look, Thomas Williams, SP U.S. Army, Vietnam, the Purple Heart. I guess you can have the inscription be whatever you want to. There's a Samuel H. Collier, a chaplain major in the United States Air Force, Vietnam. All right, here we go. United States Marines. This is very cool, isn't it? I mean, I think to honor people in this way for their service. The Merchant Marines. They didn't leave anybody out. There's a lot of them. And we have the Disabled American Veterans. And we have a whole lot of blank bricks. So I guess, I don't know, it depends on what the timing is, but that right there might be the Sock Monkeys. And it won't say Sock Monkey, it will have his name. He better not put Sock Monkey on it. But it's up to him, he's the one that served. We have the American Legion. All right. We've almost made the full circle. Veterans of Foreign Wars, the VFW. I think most cities in the U.S. have a VFW hall. You know, not the American Legion and VFW. They have room left to add the Space Force. They sure do. Hi there, Mr. Sock Monkey. I was just talking about you. Were your ears burning? Here's the National Guard. We're taking a tour of Fireman's Park. There's the American Legion Hall, also a WPA building. Me and the Sock Monkey attended an event there recently on Memorial Day. I get them mixed. I can't remember which one's which. Is it Sock Monkey? Was it Veterans Day or Memorial Day that we went to and heard the speakers? Hey Tyler, nice to see you, buddy. We're taking a little tour of Fireman's Park in Brenham. I was walking and decided to just fire up my phone, see if anybody wanted to go on a walk with me. We got a nice baseball field here, and obviously the ball field was also originally constructed by the WPA. It's had some major upgrades since then and is still used to this day. And I have never been here and seen this used. I've always been curious about this. And I think it has to be for concessions. There are no benches in here, and it's like countertops. It's like it's not an octagon. Let's see, how many sides is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep, it's an octagon. I was right. What do you know? An octagon missing one wall, getting in and out. But that's got to be what that's for. Food, for serving food. It's pretty cool. And these things that they built nearly a century ago are holding up pretty well, I would say. We won't be able to go inside the ball field because it's locked. And I'm back on we kind of got off of the designated walking trail, the ones with the the storyboards and all that. That's okay. There's something I can't remember. See, like here's another one of the storyboards. Do your loudest, stinkiest pizza burp. Oh, stop. Do you think this is another naughty elf trick? Okay. So here's the main gate, I guess, going into the ball field. And it is definitely locked. Play ball. It's nice though. This is where, I think that's where the Cubs play, the local baseball team. High school baseball. Brenham's big time baseball town. Has been for a long time. And used to be a dominant. I'm going to show you right here how dominant. If I can get it here. They have not been since 2011. That's a pretty big gap in playoff appearances. They were district champs in all of those years, and fairly recently done pretty good in district. Last year they won the district championship, and Brenham calls itself the baseball capital of Texas, and they were state champions all of those years. Looked like they had a really good run in 75 and 76. And again, 3 years in a row, 86, 87, and 88. 2010 and nothing since. Better get it in gear, Cubs. You're overdue, boys. All right. See how we're doing here. 45 minutes. Kind of making the turn and headed back toward where I started. Hey, kissy cat, how you doing? Just going for a walk in Fireman's Park in Brenham on Martin Luther King Day. So let's see what the elf wants to do now. It was another trick. Oh, the stinky pizza burp was a trick. And hopefully the kids all know that and they didn't do that one. I don't know, what's wrong with stinky pizza burps? Sometimes pizza's good. All right. Wonder what these girls are up to. Hopefully not mischief. Oh, they're feeding. Hang on. Y'all have a new friend. Okay. Do you have food for her? Cat treats. They brought cat treats. How thoughtful of you. A feral cat. And when I first saw it, because of the color, I thought it was a possum. I don't know if I'd stick my hand through there. So the cat's getting treats on Martin Luther King Day. That's very nice of you girls. Good job. Okay, moving on. I know the city, they go catch those cats and they'll have them neutered or spayed, which is a good thing. Caden Ard, you know, when you had a geocache at Fayetteville Park, did you get permission from the park managers? Hang on a second, Caden. I know this guy. Caden is a fellow geocacher, and I have found some of his geocaches. He has some great hides. Fayetteville Park. Where is Fayetteville Park? I don't think I ever played. I didn't place a geocache at Fayetteville Park. I'm pretty sure I found a geocache at Fayetteville Park, but in just my opinion, geocaching is harmless, and it's fun. It's a wonderful, wholesome family adventure. If you want to place a geocache at Fayetteville Park, Caden, if it were me, I would just do it. Now that's a little different when you're talking about state parks or national parks, I think. But a city, I don't think that anybody would raise any objection. That's just my opinion. I know the Sock Monkey and I have both placed many geocaches in the Brenham City parks, and not a problem. And we know that they have been very aware of them. Man, I'd have to look back, Caden. We're talking a decade. A lot of things have happened since then. We got another story walk board here. Let's see what here. There's nothing. I don't know. Jingle smells. That's all it says. Jingle smells. All right. Well, there you go. How are you today? It's beautiful out here. Okay, maybe this board has a little substance to it. Hi, Hunter Ray. Happy Martin Luther King Day to you. Martin Luther King Day is the day that I quit smoking in 2022. So 4 years ago. Wow. Oh no. The joke was a mischievous elf's trick to make you say something naughty. Does that mean you failed the test? Yeah, I think we didn't do them in order, so I'm sorry. I think I missed something. That elf is the one that's kind of naughty, right? Always trying to trick us into doing things. Yeah, quitting smoking and losing 80 plus pounds changed my life for the better. I could never have done this not that long ago. Okay, let's see. Surely you can't be on the nice list if you've done something naughty. It looks as though Elf feels bad for tricking you, but rules are rules. Hang on a second. The test was to make Elf laugh, and you did. So, okay. They need to come up with better storyboards. Just my opinion. It's the wind has picked up since I started this, and I can tell the breeze is like really cool. I think as that sun starts to set, the temperature is going to plummet. It's in the 60s right now, and I think tonight we're going to get into the 30s. All right, we are that sidewalk right in front of us. We walked down that as we headed to give you some reference of where we're at. There's the kitchen, and there's the rock house where you can rent it and all that. So we've had a little tour. That's the tour of the Fireman's Park. Oh, I know something. Oh, a little history. I meant to do this for an hour. Got 10 minutes left. I'll go fast. There's something I want to show you. All right, here we go. I'm actually going to get out on the sidewalk along the street over here. And the sidewalk along the street over here is actually part of the Brenham hike and bike trail. Just the nature of this city. They didn't have a place for a long like a long hiking trail or biking trail. So they actually built one where you have to cross the road, busy roads. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, at least 4 or 5. And that's okay, you know, if you watch for traffic. We all know how to cross the road. And the Sock Monkey and I rode our e-bikes. I can't remember if we made a video about that. We intended to, but I don't know if it worked out. Seems like I remember us having some kind of technical difficulties. But this is part of it. We're on the Brenham Hike and Bike Trail. It starts way up there, I don't know, at least a half a mile at the Brenham High School, and runs down and comes all the way across Henderson Park that I talked about earlier. And you come out of Henderson Park and you cross the street right here at this crossing and turn and come this way toward me, and it goes all the way to downtown to Tubman Park. This is in Texas, Ringo. Brenham, Texas. Okay, today's weather, Hunter, right now it's in the mid-60s. Sunshine, clear skies. I'd say the breeze is about maybe 5 to 10 miles an hour. Okay, so this is a big part. If I'm going to do a tour of Fireman's Park, we need to include this. And I am going to read this one, so bear with me. This is kind of the history of this. The Brenham Maifest. The Brenham Maifest has evolved from the German Volkfest, a spring festival carried to this area by German Texans who settled near Brenham. When the Brenham Fire Department assumed the duties of the Volkfest Association in 1880, the exclusively German celebration was open to the public, and the name Maifest was adopted. With the exception of 3 years during World War I, the fire department organized the annual festival from 1880 until 1942. Discontinued during World War II, Maifest was revived in 1948, and by 1951 the Maifest Association was established, with proceeds from the festivities designated for the young people of Brenham. Maifest activities began in February with a serenade and presentation of the Maifest Queens and Kings. Later, on a May weekend, the Maifest royalties selected for outstanding leadership from among the city's young people are formally crowned in Fireman's Park. The weekend includes dances, parades, and a May festival with food, games, and demonstrations. Many of the early German traditions are still visible in the annual Brenham Maifest. This cultural continuity practiced for more than 100 years provides an important historical link to a rich heritage. And there you go, Maifest. That's a big thing in Brenham. That's a big annual, you know, most cities or towns have something, you know. I know of cities like in Luling, Texas, it's called the Watermelon Thump. Their big annual festival is the Watermelon Thump. See, somebody has the Peanut Festival over in New Braunfels. They have Wurst Fest, where you can get a whole lot of sausage. Yep. New Hampshire. Hey, Ringo. I bet it's a little chillier where you are than it is here. New Hampshire. So we got the college football natty tonight, the national championship game. Indiana and Miami. So anybody have a preference? Anybody like football? I think it's going to be hard not to root for Indiana. Miami has won national championships, and they've been a big-time program in different years in the past. Indiana, up until the last 2 years, when they've actually won a lot of games, had been the losingest college in the history of NCAA college football. And they've been surpassed now by Northwestern, because they've been winning and Northwestern has not. But to come that far, apparently that coach of theirs, and the ability to pay players now, That's a big part of it. Indiana is no longer a cellar dweller. Quite the opposite. Watching them play. Yep, Floresville, the Peanut Festival. Thank you very much, Kevin. Not surprised that you would know that. I think Pearsall might be. I don't remember. It's fun though. I love we have a Washington County Fair every year, things like that, and Maifest. There are a number of those types of celebrations in Brenham, and I like going to them. Hey, it's great. It's great for content. My buddy the Sock Monkey got face painted while live streaming, or maybe that was a video. I guess that was a video at the Washington County Fair this year. I rode a mechanical bull, definitely live streaming. Rode a mechanical bull on the live stream at the Washington County Fair. That stuff is fun. Festivals like that. You can have some great food and a couple of cold brews. To be honest, neither matter to me. I just wanted to see Miami lose after they beat A&M. Okay, I'm guessing you are an Aggie fan. Lauren has a Washington County Fair here. What state are you in, Lauren? I know that I've looked up some, like when I'm Google searching and I start with Washington County something, there is things that come up that are not in Texas. Arkansas, cool. So are you a Razorback fan? They hear, "Suey pig, suey." That's the Arkansas Razorback call. All the fans be going, "Suey, suey, suey." I'm probably not doing that right, but hey, I'm not an Arkansasian. Hey, my channel's Todd Saw. You could be Arkansas. Hunter Ray has a 2010 Toyota Tundra truck. You know, well, that's 16 years old, Hunter. I would say you're good for about another 25 years. Those Toyotas just keep going and going and going and going. If I bought a new vehicle today, it would definitely be a Toyota, from what I've learned, from what I know. All right, y'all. I'm at 58 minutes. We're gonna go on up here and close this out. An hour. Let me look and see. Hang on, it's gonna get a little shaky. I gotta push the button on my watch. Oh, never mind. I didn't have it counting. I guarantee you we went way over a mile. That's good. So I had already done 3/4 of a mile before I even turned the camera on. I don't know if you can hear them. Lots of kids playing and shouting and laughing and having a good time. There were some people earlier at that picnic table, and they had 2 big boxes of chicken, fried chicken, and the way the wind was blowing, it carried it right across my nose, and it smelled good. All right, everybody. Let's see. There are 14 of you left here. I always hate to say goodbye when I'm live streaming because I enjoy it. And I like to be in live streams as a guest, and I'm always a little disappointed when the host ends it, no matter what they're showing, because I'm enjoying hanging out and talking with the other people in the chat in addition to the host. But all good things must end. And if you just met me coming into this live stream, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to. And y'all look, don't forget, Valerie Reese has her live stream tomorrow evening at 7 Eastern time, and she's going to talk to some different United States Marines about why they joined up, how it went for them, what their motivations were, and carry that forward. So thank you so much for joining me, everyone. Y'all be good, be kind to other people, Treat them the way you want to be treated yourself, all right? This is Todd. Hang on, this is Todd, and I'm out of here. Live your life doing things that will make God and your mama smile. Okay?